Time for a quick update on the garden. It's July 16th and it's been about a month since my last update. As I mentioned in my other one, I added these other two pots here, these fabric smart pots, and in them I planted two kinds of patty pan squash. This is a golden scallopini, and these two are the Benning's green tint. And I had a heck of a time getting that Benning's green tint to germinate in the first place. Out of about 10 seeds I planted, I only got 2, and that little one over there actually sprouted right next to this one. I dug it up and moved it over there, and hopefully it'll do okay. It's looking pretty good right now. Potatoes are doing remarkable. They're just growing like mad. The pots are completely filled with soil now, all the way to the top. And as you can see, there's probably about 3 feet or better of growth above the pot. I'll put my hand out here so you can kind of get a, maybe you can't, but just a tremendous amount of growth down in there. I don't have any flowers on them yet, but I don't know how long that takes. I'm expecting them to do that pretty quick. It's fairly early in the morning here now. When the sun comes around and beats down on the potatoes, the leaves tend to wilt, and I wanted to show them before that happened. And in the square foot garden, things are doing quite well. We've had some much better weather, and I'll run through it real quick and show you what we got. Marigolds in the square there. Carrots, I haven't harvested any yet, and I'm not sure just when. I've been digging down and I haven't really seen any, but the tops look real good, so I'm hopeful for some to come along. And the butter crunch bib lettuce is done quite well. We've eaten quite a bit of it. I've been picking the outer leaves on it, and I'll have to maybe start harvesting the whole plant pretty soon. I want to get it before it bolts, of course. And the oak leaf lettuce, we've harvested some of that also for salads. And usually what I do is I pick some of each salad, and then also some beet greens to make a couple salads for our dinner at night. And then a final square of marigolds. And my basil's finally starting to grow. It took a while, but it's finally going. It just needed some warmer weather. I put some radishes in the corners, those little dark spots you see. Just to use up the space, I put a few radishes in, French breakfast radishes. Onions, I'm going to get probably 3 onions out of it. I started out with about 64, and I'm down to about 3. So that was a bummer. And that was a square of radish, which I gave up on and replanted with golden beet. Peppers are finally coming to life. In fact, this one has got all kinds of flowers coming, so I think I might actually get some peppers out of it. That one is called the super chili pepper. This one is a jalapeno, and the plant is looking pretty good, but there's no flowers or anything showing up yet, nor is there anything on this one. The one on the end here does have a few little things coming, little flowers, and even the start of one little teeny pepper. Tomatoes are doing very well. I've got a lot of flowers and even the start of a few tomatoes. This one on the end is the patio tomato, and it's grown quite a bit and has a lot of flowers. That one does not have any fruit yet. The one next to it is this Sweet 100, same thing there, all kinds of flowers but no fruit. And these are my early girls, and they've grown remarkably well. They're probably about 4 or maybe 4.5 feet tall by now, and I've actually started tying them up. You can see my ropes or strings there for the sailors out there. I tied to the plant with a bowline, and then tied to the string with a rolling hitch, And the nice thing about the rolling hitch, let's see if I can get around back and show it to you, is that you can adjust them quite easily just by sliding it up or sliding it down, and it retains its grip wherever you stop. It'll stay there, and it's very gentle on the string. I mean, is very gentle on the tomato plant itself. And I've got a lot of flowers. There's a bunch there, and they're very teeny, but they are tomatoes. There's one there, and there's one there, and there's one over here. So I'm real excited about that. And over in this bed, things are doing quite well. The nasturtiums are ready to flower. There's several buds. If I can zoom in on one, there's one there, and there's several more under the leaves. I did find that the aphids tend to like these nasturtiums, but I've been using a product called K Plus Neem. It's a derivative of the neem tree from India, I believe it is, and it seems to do the trick. When I see some aphids, I give them a squirt, and they're gone in no time flat. Second square of carrots. The beets, these are top crop beets, red beets. I haven't picked any yet, but they are starting to form. Back there are my bush beans, which are finally growing nicely, and there's a few blossoms just getting ready to open, but not quite yet. And this square I replanted with a broccoli, and this just starting. I'm hoping for a fall crop on broccoli. And in the corners, those dark spots, I put in some French breakfast radish just to fill the space. This was the time that was growing so poorly, and now it's actually doing pretty well. And I put more French breakfast in there too. This is the red sales lettuce. We've picked a lot of that. Out of the 3 lettuces I have, red sales, oak leaf, and the butter crunch bib, I have to say the butter crunch bib is probably our favorite, although they're all very, very tasty. And this square was radishes, which were harvested, and I replanted with a Nico Chinese cabbage. Back there is another square that radishes that were harvested, and I replanted with black-seeded Simpson lettuce. Another square of nasturtiums, and behind it a square of Swiss chard, and still a little disappointed in the cucumbers. They're growing, but awfully slow. I don't know if I'll get any cucumbers this year or not. That was another onion square I gave up on and replanted with arugula and in the center, and then ringed by a layer of German giant radish. You may or may not be able to tell, but I just love radishes. And this is a square of French breakfast radish, which is the first time I grew them, but I'm very impressed with them. They're very tasty, nice radish. And this is a square of golden beets again that hasn't really done well. Several of the seedlings just kind of toppled over, and I don't know if there's something wrong with that square or not, but when they're over, I think I'll throw some beans in there and see if I can't rejuvenate things a little bit. As you can see, things are doing much better than they were, and I'm quite pleased so far. So that's my update for now, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.